Hi everyone and welcome for this new tutorial how to paint quickly an Aberrant from Games Workshop. This is for the army, Cult Genestealer's army. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to paint it very quickly with some very basic tips. I will try later to make a tutorial video to increase the level of this paint, and that will be only accessible for my Patreon. Don't hesitate to take a look to my Patreon, and let's go for the paint. I'll start by using some gray primer, and now I'm going to make some basic color. I use some Wizard Orbs green, and as you can see I dilute a little bit the color just to be sure to see the gray under my color, and that's going to help me to push after that my highlight. So don't hesitate to use the side of your brush so that will be more easily. I use a Raphael 8404. This is a reference, and I use size 2 or 1, all depending of the size of my miniatures, and this time I use size 2. So now I'm going to come back with some fur brown directly on the chitin parts, so the armor parts. This is very interesting model because this is something like only one kind of color, so we can make more easily all transition very more easily just by using a little bit more water into your paint to create your transition. Don't hesitate to use and try army paint or color because it's very more easy. You don't need to dilute too much, and you can use it directly out the bottle, so sometimes that helps a lot. So let's go for the metal. So I'm going to use some real metallic. I use this color from Army Painter always, and this is going to help me to base it very easily. When I use metallic color, I always try to don't dilute too much, because if you make that, the covering is not very good. So I make the same on the base. To have a complete metallic base, and I'm going to make all around the base in black after that. Not necessary now, but very soon. So now I come with the black to make my color around the base. Don't hesitate to push me some comments if I don't use a good word or anything else. Really don't hesitate. I will be at Adepticon, so I'm going to teach some class at Adepticon in Chicago, and I will be at Gen Con probably at end of years, so don't hesitate to take a look to that. My book, The Art of Miniatures, will be probably soon on backer kits for the late pledge, so don't hesitate to take a look. So now the black is down. I'm going to come back with some pure red from RB Painter always to make some small parts, and I'm going to use it very diluted on some different kind of surfaces to create some different kind of color into my skin directly. I think the name is Carnation in French and in English. So as you can see, I'm going to come back with some mid-brown ink, and I'm going to push on all the chitin and the clauses and the metallic too. In fact, that will help me to focus the eyes on the flesh, so that's going to push down the different elements, and I'm going to use this ink in that way. As you can see, sometimes I'm going to tap the ink, sometimes I'm going to move it on different side. All depend of the effects I want to have. Always remember that this video tutorial is doing very faster. I increase the rapidity, so don't hesitate to take your time when you make this kind of paints. I use now some Elven Flesh mix with Wizard Orbs to create my first highlights on the skin. And step by step, I'm going to add more and more elf skin into my mix to have always better and better highlights. At the end, I'm going to use only some small touch of elf skin to put my last highlight. Always remember, when you paint for tabletop miniatures, it's always a good point to increase your painting skills, because sometimes it's more easy to use new technical on your tabletop minis than on your competition miniatures. As you can see, I push the color directly to the face, and to anything parts would take a good light. Make the same directly with elf skin. And on some very small part like that, just to boost the contrast. This part is one of the most long and the most important, because this is the focus we need to have, and we need to focus attention on the skin. So I come back with some Mythical Orange to push my highlight on the chitin, and to push my highlights on every part, like the base too. I'm going to make some wash on the base after to create my dusts. Always try to use the side of your brush. That will help you to have a better transition. And always use the sculpture of the miniatures to help your brush to reach the good parts. I come back with my basical colors, fur brown, and in addition I had some black color to create all parts on the end of the chitin in more dark color to create an insect effect. So I'm going to make the rust by make some wash of orange directly on the weapon and on the base. After that, I come back with some strong tone in the same way to push down a little bit the color I don't need to have attention on. For example, all the clauses on the metallic and that's all. In that way, always in the same way, in the same need to focus attention on the skin. As you can see, I use hair dry to make the ink dry more faster. I come back with my basic metallic I use for making the base of metal. I use it on every edges of my metal to create all my highlights. We are going to propose into a website all the set I use for these Genestealers. I will add this link into the description if you want to try for the first time the Army Painter set. That can be a good things. I make the same things on the base to push my highlights. Here is the result, and now I'm going to use some dark sky blue on the clauses, and after that I'm going to add a little bit more Elven Flesh color into my dark blue sky to make my highlights on the clauses. As I explained, and I really don't need to focus and push too much attention on my clauses, but it's always important to make some treatment on this color. For example, on different miniatures for this army, I'm going to use really more clauses step, so it's always important to have some color for the different parts of the minis. I'm going to add a little bit more orange to make the rust into my weapon. Sorry. Just make some wash and let that dry to make your effect. It will be more easy. With this same Mythical Orange, I'm going to push again a little bit my highlights on some parts. The orange from Army Painter and all color from Army Painter is really less covering than Prince August, Valero or Games Workshop color, so it's necessary a little bit confusing at beginning, but it's very more easy to make your transition. Thanks again for watching this video tutorial. Don't hesitate to make a comment, tell me what do you think about this mini. Don't hesitate to support me on Patreon, and don't hesitate to take a look to the Art of Miniatures, the book will come in late pledge very soon on Barker Kits. Thanks again for watching, and never lose any moment when you can paint. Just paint, and that's the best way to increase your level. Try new techniques. Thanks again, and see you soon.